Fano fighters are committing mistakes in the Amhara region. Not mistakes, they're committing blunders, I would say. While drones are hitting them, they are calling for these drone strikes, it seems. I have received a video released by Fano. This video has disclosed the mistakes being committed by Fano fighters. I want to show you this video and then describe in detail the mistakes being committed by Fano in the Amhara region. Secondly, you know that the Prime Minister of Ethiopia was in Johannesburg, South Africa, to attend the G20 summit, and there a small protest was organized against the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, against alleged genocide of Amhara people. Before these two news stories, a quick news story about a decision made by Donald Trump, the US president, which will affect thousands of Somalis. TPS has been withdrawn. Temporary protection status granted by the US government to Somali nationals and nationals of other countries is being withdrawn. Last night, Donald Trump, the US president, announced immediate lifting of TPS status for Somalis in Minnesota. Donald Trump said that the Somali groups are involved in money laundering in Minnesota. Billions of dollars are being wasted. TPS was introduced in 1991 to give protection to citizens of those countries which are seeing wars or natural disasters. So, if the residents of those countries enter the US, they are given TPS status. Donald Trump government is gradually withdrawing the status. Haiti, Venezuela, other two countries whose TPS facility has been withdrawn. So thousands of Somalis in Minnesota will be affected. Will they be deported? Let's see. No good news from Trump about foreigners living in the US for years. Secondly, viewers, watch two video clips first, and then I'll describe in detail a mistake, a grave mistake, which is being committed by Fano fighters in the Amhara region. A first video shows the protest in South Africa by a group of Ethiopians, I guess Ethiopian PM, who attended G20 summit. Their second video shows Colonel Zarehon, an ENDF colonel who has been killed. 2 days ago, Fano, Amhara Fano National Force issued a statement saying that the ENDF colonel had been killed in a drone strike. The ENDF colonel had been taken prisoner by Fano a few weeks ago during a Banadi operation. Fano fighters claim that during Air Force drone strike on Bogna Voreda, the colonel and 3 other ENDF captives were killed in that deadly drone strike. This video shows shifting of the colonel to a new place. Fano fighters can be seen shifting the colonel through a mountainous area, through a stretcher, to a new location. Watch the two videos, then I'll explain the mistake being committed by Fano fighters.
Honorable heads of state, distinguished members of G20, respected members of the international community, I stand before you today not only as a voice of a people, but as a witness of horror that demands your urgent moral intervention. While many are I bring you a crisis of humanity, a genocide unfolding in broad daylight in Ethiopia's Amhara region. Across the world, we are rightly outraged by gender-based violence. In our home country of South Africa, the crisis has reached such proportions where gender-based violence has officially been declared a national crisis. Right now, over 5,000 women and 1,000 children have lost their lives in just 1 year. Yet we mobilize to protect the women of South Africa. I ask you, how can we remain silent to the Amara women and girls being tortured, raped, mutilated, and murdered in a campaign of ethnic cleansing in Ethiopia? My people, Amara men, women, children, farmers, elderly are being slaughtered, not for crime, but for ethnicity. They have no political ties, no weapons. These are civilians.
Now, if you haven't watched the video about the colonel, closely watch it again. You would see that the men who are carrying the stretcher over their shoulders are Fano fighters. They're not ENDF POWs. Generally, POWs are used to carry such stretchers to shift injured people from one place to other place. But those who are shifting the colonel with the stretcher, who have stretcher on their shoulders, they are Fano fighters. During the course of the shifting of the colonel, the Fano fighters who is at the front carrying the stretcher, you see that he takes out a mobile phone and he attends a call. Either he attends a call, he's replying, or he is making a call, but you can clearly see him using his mobile phone. He's using his right hand to answer the call or maybe to make a call. I mean, the phone which he's using does not seem to be a satellite phone. I mean, not every Fano fighter can have a satellite phone. Satellite phones are costly. Maybe Fano commanders have satellite phones, but not lower level Fano fighters, especially those who are carrying stretchers. They are not in possession of satellite phones. They have ordinary phones used in Ethiopia. When you are using phones, attending calls, making calls, you are making yourself vulnerable to drone strikes. That is how your location is tracked. I mean, even a layman knows that Phones should not be used in this manner, especially when you have a colonel as POW in your custody. And when you're exposing your location, obviously not knowingly, unknowingly. Well, it shows that these Fano fighters are not being educated about how to defend from drone strikes. They could not form any policy against drones followed by all Fano groups. They don't have the basic knowledge and understanding, I think, about how drones operate. Each and every Fano fighter should have basic understanding of how drones operate because drones are now killing them. In Bogna, in Dambicha, and other parts of Amhara in the last few days, drone strikes hit Fano very precisely. They suffer losses. They are losing territories. And why are they fond of recording videos? You should never disclose the model, the company of your mobile phone. It's an advice for everyone that no matter what your mobile number is, if people know your mobile number and they know which company's mobile you are using, you're more vulnerable. So never disclose the manufacturer, the company of your mobile phone. But these Fano fighters are using mobile phones publicly. Obviously, they are exposing their location. The company's name, I think logo can be seen too. Maybe it is being exposed to, though it's not clear. But at least it's confirmed that these Fano fighters are not being educated against how to defend from drones. And that is why they're paying the price. And lastly, this video clearly shows that the ENDF colonel was a liability for Fano fighters. He was being transported from one to the place by Fano fighters themselves. So it was not easy to just protect him, to move him from one to other place. It was better maybe for Fano to get rid of him. That's what they did. They got rid of him, but they blamed ENDF for the strike. I'm not saying it was good for Fano to kill the man. Obviously, no one should be killed. Human life should be respected and protected. But they were not in a position to carry Colonel everywhere with them. So they thought of killing him and just blaming the government, the Air Force, for killing the Colonel in the drone strike. Thanks for watching.